Hello friends, today I'm going to teach you how to make caramel popcorn macarons. These macarons are filled with salted caramel and topped with caramel popcorn. They're beautiful, delicious, and perfect for sharing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every week. Before we get started, we're going to sift together the almond flour and the powdered sugar, and then set it aside. Now place a bowl over a pan with barely simmering water. Then add the sugar, and I'm also adding some egg white powder to the bowl. Egg white powder is completely optional, you don't have to use it. If you can find it, just skip it. Add the egg whites and whisk the ingredients together until the sugar has completely melted. It should take about 1 or 2 minutes. You can test it by touching the mixture between your fingers, and if you don't feel any sugar granules, you can remove it from the heat. Then transfer the syrup to the bowl of a mixer. Start whisking on low and then gradually increase the speed to medium and then to medium-high. Whip the meringue until you achieve stiff peaks. Here, as you can see, the peaks are not stiff, they're bending at the top, so we're going to continue whipping. This is exactly what the meringue should look like. The peak should be shooting straight up. Now here I'm going to transfer the meringue to this bowl so I can show you the macaronage process a little bit better. Pour the sifted powdered sugar and almond flour into the stiff meringue and start folding. We're going to fold the batter until the perfect consistency has been achieved, and I'm going to show you exactly what that's supposed to look like. The batter should be flowing slowly but effortlessly off the spatula. If you pick up some batter with a spatula, you should be able to draw several figure eights with the batter that's falling off without having it break up. And then, even after it breaks up, it should still continue to flow off the spatula. When you achieve this stage, stop stirring and then transfer the batter to a piping bag fitted with a round tip. Here I'm using a 1/4 inch diameter piping tip. Place the piping bag directly 90 degrees over the center of each circle template. Then apply gentle pressure and carefully pipe for about 3 seconds and then quickly pull the bag up. Bang the trays against the counter to release any air bubbles, and also use a toothpick to pop any remaining air bubbles from the surface of the shells. Let the tray sit so the shells dry out. I usually leave mine for 20 to 40 minutes. You'll know that they're ready when you gently touch the surface of a macaron and it doesn't stick to your finger. Bake on the preheated 325 Fahrenheit oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. With my oven, I have to rotate the trays after 5 minutes baking. Otherwise, my macarons are going to turn out lopsided. Also, I like to cover my macarons with foil halfway through baking so they don't brown. That's how they keep the very nice white color. Now let's make the salted caramel sauce. Place the sugar in a medium saucepan over medium heat. Stir constantly to help the sugar melt evenly. This is very important. You should stir at all times so the sugar doesn't start to burn. As soon as the sugar has melted entirely and the last bit of sugar crystals have dissolved, quickly add the heavy cream. Be very careful because it's going to bubble up. Continue to stir for a few seconds until the bubbles subside. Then add the butter. I'm also adding salt. You can leave the salt out if you don't want salted caramel. Continue to stir until the butter has almost entirely melted. Remove it from the heat and continue to stir until you see no more bits of butter. Don't overcook the caramel at any stage because it's going to become hard as it cools down. Pour the caramel into a bowl and let it cool down completely. After you pour the caramel into the bowl, add the vanilla and mix to incorporate. Now let's make the salted caramel buttercream. Begin by creaming the butter on medium-high until creamy and fluffy for about 1 minute. Then add the completely cooled down caramel sauce and mix to incorporate. Make sure that the caramel sauce is at room temperature. It shouldn't be cold from the fridge and it also should not be warm. After the caramel has been incorporated with the butter, you can add the powdered sugar and cream until completely incorporated. Add the vanilla and mix to combine. To decorate the macarons, I drizzled some caramel and some melted chocolate on top of the shells. And then I placed a couple popcorns on top to decorate. Then you can place the buttercream in a piping bag fitted with a tip of choice and pipe on the bottom shells of the macarons. Then top the macarons with a decorated shell. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. For the full recipe, go to piesandtacos.com. I'm going to put a link down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!